everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'm back with another review of America's Sweethearts. So let's just get into it. So it really broke my heart when I saw the girls from the previous year's team crying when none of the vets, um, well, not none of the vets, but some of the vets were cut. And it really surprised me how there is not any envy amongst the girls. I mean, they could have just cut that out to make DCC look better, but from what was shown on the TV show, like there was no envy between the girls, there were no clashes between the girls, which really surprised me. I mean, with any group, there can be issues, so I'm not just saying that because they're women, but also at the same time, like with the industry that they're in, where a lot of it is based on how they look, and just as women, we are raised to compete with each other and feel threatened when we might see a girl that we believe is to be more talented than us, or quote unquote looks better than us. So I was very surprised by that. Like, it's really a sisterhood, which, I think it's valuable for relationships like that to be portrayed on TV, because I think a lot of times, when people think of groups of women, they think of like cattiness, um, passive aggressiveness. So I really like that, but I was also surprised by it. Um, and another reason why I think this show is valuable is because, you know, I really don't know. Like, obviously the people who created the show, or the people who were involved in the show, I think they thought it would make DCC look appealing, but it really just shows the reality, and to me, it is not the ideal life. Um, of course, to each their own. But I think it is important for young girls who have been wanting to be a DCC, to see the reality of it and the toll it takes on these women's lives. I also love that some of them have careers. So again, girls watching this know that they can have a backup, and they probably should, because those cheerleaders do not get paid enough. I'm finally glad that they let Anisha have more spotlight in episode 2. Um, I, she's my favorite, so I was like anticipating this. I wanted her to be one of the main characters of the show, like how Victoria is like the main focus of the show. I would have loved more of Anisha, but I'm glad that she at least got some spotlight. Um, I probably should have started it with this note, but I think that this episode, and maybe the whole series, should have had like a ED trigger warning, because they do talk about eating disorders, and they make a lot of comments about the girls' weights. So again, like, I'm just thinking about the young girls who might be watching this show, and that it can be kind of harmful uh t- to them to hear the older women say things about these girls' bodies. And going more onto that topic, there truly is beauty in different body shapes, and I don't agree with the way that they make comments about the girls' bodies, or they want to uphold certain beauty standards, which, number one, being skinny really, like, I think they're kind of alone in upholding that beauty standard, because like it's 2024. We have moved past, I feel, thinking that skinny is the only beautiful. Um and as long as they can keep up with the routine, I see no issue with them not being skinny. And also, if the how sorry, let me think about what I'm about to say. I think the main appeal and what DCC is trying to do, they are trying to appeal to men. And if you're appealing to men, although that is harmful, and I don't think women should prioritize the male gaze. Most people who watch football are men. So, it's a smart marketing tool to use the DCC cheerleaders as a way to draw in men watching the game. But also, if the goal is to appeal to the male gaze, I don't think the male gaze is limited to one body type. Women of all body types can be sexualized by men. It just depends on the group of men that we're looking at. Some men like skinny women, some men like thicker women. And there are men who like BBWs. Like, don't let people make you think that they don't. They're like men like all different types of body shapes. Um, and so like there were comments made about like girls who didn't fit the uniform, because in this episode they were getting sized for uniforms. So there were girls, they were making comments about their bodies and girls who may not have fitted, and they made one comment about this girl having no butt, and it's like, if you're trying to appeal to men, like, you should have more variety then, because not all men like all skinny women. So I mean only skinny women, so I kind of didn't see the point in that. So that's the end of episode 2, the episode 2 review. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts on the series below, or on episode 2 below. Yeah. Thank you for listening and watching, and I will talk to you soon.